teams are going to struggle with this one, and that could open the door for the ones on the bottom. The question is, does the bubble burst, or do they rise even higher and make it impossible for the bottom teams to reach up and get themselves to the Pro League? We've only got 4 left. Yep. This is the big time. No more hiding in the shadows. It's time to come out into the light.
No, indeed. Time is running out here. Thank you very much, gentlemen, as we unbubble wrap our commentators here for our next game. Let's hand it over to them for all the action on Erangel.
Thank you very much, guys. And here we go. The second game of the day, but almost only 4 games left to go. And some of these teams have to sort themselves out. I'm Lee Dan Smith, and joining me, of course, is WTF Moses for this second game and the 4th game today, of course. And we're going to be rotating all day long. Raise Your Edge down on the West Coast, already involved in a couple of shots. It looks like Bjorn gone pretty far west, actually, sitting around the Gakra area, and they're crashing with, of course, Red Diamonds, who are going to be looking towards going up towards similar loot locations. TSM, well, they've gifted the circle. Let's see what they can do with it. Reciprocity also nearby, but they've got Alpachinki kind of dropping just north of them. May try and collect a couple of kills here, or maybe try and get involved. I can see Scoom bombing along in the vehicle, so maybe going to try and catch some of these guys out, run them down. It's Alf plays. I think he's chasing. I can see it on the minimap, but Moses, this circle, it's one we've cast a lot of.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple of times. It looks very familiar, but you know what, on Erangel, especially for that first zone, it's essentially split into quadrants, so you have kind of a 25% chance of seeing relatively similar circles, especially in the early game. So for TSM, this is another situation for them where they have to capitalize on the gifts they've been given. And in this case, it's a terrific zone to work with. So they're going to have to get through that loot phase as quickly as possible and maybe find themselves a nice north-south split like they've been doing in the past. Now, the last time we saw TSM in this circle was with Accelerate Gaming. And there was some questionable decisions happening there. And it led to a less than stellar finish when they had a big advantage. So hopefully for TSM, they've learned from those mistakes. And they translate this into another good finish, which they really need.
Yeah, Tornado as well, obviously, in Milta. They have a good chance of picking up some points here, some valuable points. They definitely been chasing them, of course, throughout. They had such a good performance in Group A, but it's just not translated into these final stages. It really has been a rough one, whether that's down to the group, the lobby getting stronger. Who knows? It's just not worked out for them. They were top fragging throughout, but now it's looking really rough for them in these final stages. Jokers, of course, their compatriots who actually finished, I think, below them in the Group A. I'm trying to think where they actually came in Group A. I can get a little peek for you. They did. Yeah, Jokers were 300 points below Tornado in the in Group A, but it hasn't translated. Tornado way down, 14th place, 1,566 points, all chasing 400 points behind. Team Ready, currently the gatekeepers effectively. 1,914 points. Gamer Legion, Avantgarde, Q-Rage, Tornado, Reciprocity, and SDF all outside of that. Reciprocity, wow. This is the time for them to step it up. 700 points and trailing. It's only going to get worse from here if they can't put in a performance right now.
Well, you know what? It's quite the deficit, and at this stage, with only 3 games left on the table, they need wins, and wins only. And I mean, I think if you get a win and a second and a fifth, or I don't think there's any room for error. I would be remiss to say that they maybe have one more bad game in the tank, but it's over. It's time to perform for Reciprocity, and they do have the first zone kind of. They're on the edge. Again, another team that has to speed through that loot phase and just try and get as best at the position as possible. But already, the real estate is becoming more and more scarce as teams start to move their way into the middle.
Yeah, SDF on the move. M19 already rotating as well. We're only at 4 minutes 44, so these guys rotating pretty damn early. Gustav already having to let a couple of shots off an elite player there. You can see on the map as they try and come into effectively his loot area. He's still in the loot session. TSM going to be wary of this, I think, to collapse a little quicker than they are. Of course, Team Ready, as we mentioned, down in 10th place. They are in Milta Power. They are very much in the central circle. And if you look at the central point, obviously you've got the likes of Lumbermill in there with Prison. The Harry Potter effectively is kind of the central point. Of course, we could have the swing go any direction, but we've seen this circle just yesterday, in fact, on Erangel, centering in on that Lumbermill area. And these teams are definitely going to be looking towards that. Of course, the Joker's picked up the win there. And speaking of crashing in, here comes Courage right on top of SDF.
That was precision garage entry right there. As here comes another. This is all about the crash, and they're already upstairs. Hulo, he's going to have to try and defend on the stairwell already. He's got the nade out. Oh, that's
no.
Well.
And his teammate got flushed downstairs as well. iZoom got taken down. This has just gone horrifically wrong for Courage.
Wow.
They are down 3 players very, very early on. And you know what, Koffest, he's still in Pachinki. He's still looting in Pachinki.
That looked good.
He's like, guys, what's happening?
That looked very, that was a high-level breach right up until the shooting started. So, unfortunately for SDF, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but it sucks to see that something, or I should say Courage rather, it's unfortunate for them. That's how that went. So either way, that's how you lose 3 players in a hurry. But regardless, well, Koffest has got the world on his shoulders now.
SDF 900 points in chasing, you know, getting gifted quick early.
They need all the kills they can
48
get.
48 points like that, yeah, that's just about the start you want, really. But SDF, of course, rotated a little crazy on the crash, I guess. And they knew somebody was there, so I guess they just assumed it was one person that rotated. Speaking of rotates, Reciprocity on the move, going up towards the fields at the moment, just to the west side of apartments, etc., and just grouping together, trying to trade out meds, etc. Raise your edge. Good performance from them throughout the tournament. A solid lineup, a very new lineup as well, we should point out. These guys, you know, obviously we've been talking about how Reciprocity sort of came together within the start of Global Loot League. Raise your edge, even newer setup, but they have got 2,600 points. We believe the 2,500 point is almost the cutoff. It may get higher with Team Ready being bottom at the moment with 1,900. It looks like we may see a higher swing of it. We don't know. Some of these guys getting some big kills.
And when it comes to Rai, I mean, the way they've been handling their mid and end game is still kind of a question mark. A little bit passive in some of the ways that they approach end game fights. So you have to wonder if Rai, I mean, they're in a really good position right now, almost guaranteed to be in the Pro League unless there's an absolute disaster through the last couple of games.
I mean, you basically got to have some of those bottom teams just literally picking up win after win. That's not how you do it.
Wow.
And Hacksetti down already. It's a disaster after a disaster after a disaster for Reciprocity. Now Shiv's getting
They're going right into
picked
M19
as well.
They're going into M19 as well. So, I mean, they've already lost one, and they're now coming very close. Scoom in the lead vehicle. He's going to be moving right past Wanderer, and we see another down here from Avangard. Regardless, yeah, it looks like they're going to try and skirt past. And M19 is not going to let him get past for free. So Scoom very carefully making his way past M19. But now Reciprocity is kind of scattered to the wind. Rafi has to turn and find another path. He could send himself past TSM now. This is not the rotation that Rec needed.
And this is the danger, obviously, they've been talking about on the desk, and we've been talking about it yesterday. It's the danger of being in that situation where you're not safe. You know, 2,400 points for M19. They really only need 200-300 points more. They've got 4 games to get it. Should be fairly easy for them. So now they're in this rich situation of we can wide peak. We can extend a little bit for these shots to catch the rotates. And if you're down and out, the pressure's on you.
Yeah, because
and you're in a position where it's not the PUBG that you're used to. So you're going to start getting these little random factors coming into it that are just going to catch you off guard.
Look at Breaksco. This is a perfect example. I mean, he's running out just looking for kills. Penta more than secure in their berth into the Pro League after a terrific performance through the first couple of days. And, I mean, that's a great point. Teams that would ultimately be playing more conservatively might walk up and try and take a fight with you. Rafi's still being harassed in his rotate. He's trying to find Shiv and Scoom on the western side, or sorry, excuse me, the eastern side of the Prison Ridge. For Rafi, he's now luckily benefiting from the Wanderer dealing with an Accelerate Gaming who's crashing right on top.
What are you? Oh, next level strats from Trifoli. It almost paid off. Wanderer kind of surprised by it, but...
Here comes Squeaky. He wants to give it a run, too.
Well, I mean, if he would have managed to land and actually knock him, that would have been like the ultimate play, right? Launching into heaven, knocking him down. It is possible in there. The nade's coming in, so now Rustenmar and Mickey is going to push out of it. Constantine's actually backed out of this one, so Wanderer's kind of been left alone in here, it looks like.
He's like, these Finns are losing their minds. I should probably leave.
I mean, they've got literally nothing to lose.
Yeah.
They were qualified after day one, pretty much, the way they played.
Yeah.
They've had incredible amounts of kills. Squeaky picking another up for his team there. They have been top fragging throughout. The Jokers actually may well have just caught them. I'm not too sure. They've had some pretty big games themselves. But, yeah, they've been absolutely smashing it. Second place, 3,168 points already for Accelerate, and M19 wisely backing away from that fight.
It's an interesting kind of meta now where the European teams that are already qualified might just be taking runs at whoever's nearby. I mean, and the same thing goes for the CIS teams as well. Maybe not as aggressive as we see Wookie Bookie go down. Now, this is two teams that are very interestingly engaging with each other. Both these guys not quite secure. Obviously, Rec in a much worse position than TSM. But we'll see now what happens if Rec can follow up here at all and try and get some kills.
It's the problem with obviously the cross trade at Prison, right? You can easily, as soon as he gets knocked, his headshot may be peeking out, but it's instantly down, and
of course
you can't flush him out. Nobody else there to finish him. Red Diamonds, slow rotations. Alpachinki also coming down from the north. Avantgarde do manage to find themselves. Melman, that's the CIS regions, clashing. Maxi again, by the way, with the Car 98. And you know what? I'm actually going to agree with you now, because he has been...
now after you've received further evidence? How convenient.
I mean, he has just been absolutely smashing it with the Car 98. He's a beast with it. The circle swings goes kind of in favor of Reciprocity here. They gamble for the wall. I wonder if they're going to stick at that prison wall now, because this is a shift. It's not quite central. You can see Lumbermill in there. You kind of got the crates position as well on the coastline, but it's tricky to get out of that crates position. I think Vanguard may be going for that one. Looks like Snoopy's heading over that way. It does, of course, mean that everybody that gambled it sitting around the western edge, most of the western teams, in fairness, do have a tricky rotation now. The north is fairly blocked off at the moment. Accelerate going a wide swing around Alpachinki. Q-Rage, of course, coughs the last man standing for them. Gamer Legion, they're also a team that are desperately trying to get just a couple more points. They had a good performance last game, but they need a little bit more. They have this horrible push. Look at the south. This is going to get congested. You see Penta already going in there. Red Diamonds are going to try and trail in. Gamer Legion are going to be trailing in behind them. Looks like Joker's already coming down south. They're going to clash with SDF just like they did yesterday. Remember that this is the same position they got 19 kills from as they walk their way up that hill.
What's Rafi doing? Rafi just appears to be shooting in random directions. I think he's maybe shooting in Alpachinki, but it really does look like he's just, I don't know, maybe shooting windows out. That's probably a good call. But for Scoom and now Shiv, this is an interesting split. Rafi's got a compound that could very realistically be in the next zone, but he's left Scoom and Shiv on the ridgeline to now shoot at an arriving AP. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, the issue here is if that Rec tries to push this, TSM could punish them on the other side of the ridge.
I'm just surprised that somebody's actually committing to going into prison. I mean, most people, you have to be taken there, but these guys are committing to just going in there freely.
I demand to be in prison.
Well, TSM definitely demands to have a couple of shots on them. Reciprocity are looking for a couple of chances. I mean, obviously, the reason you don't go in prison is because you're in a
literal bowl of death.
there is only one way out. You're not going to get up the walls. It's insanity to go there, really. That crate, well, it's a bit far south. Team Ready gone into Lumberman, which is just to the north of that. It is a relatively decent crate, M249. Not going to be able to put the suppressor on it, sadly.
Too bad.
That would be a weird thing.
That suppressor
That'd be a very hot suppressor.
Yeah, I was going to say it would overheat immediately, blow apart, and that'd be that. But Accelerate's got the northern side kind of covered. They're going to make it difficult for Rye to make entry into the northern side, as Rye only has a ridge to work with, and it's not in the zone. So we'll see the circle begin to shrink relatively quickly. Actually, it's shrinking already. Gamer Legion on the south side. They should be able to sneak in around the Milta area. And there's Q-Rage, Coffist. He's shell-shocked. He's all by himself.
Where's he going?
He's wandering the wilderness.
Has he flipped his vehicle?
Maybe. I have no idea, but he's running back towards the blue, looking for another one. He looks like he's running back towards a compound with a garage in it.
He must have flipped his vehicle. Yeah. He that's not what you want when you don't.
That's the least of his problems right now, really.
He's like, guys. It's a flip.
They had vehicles, and they're all in a garage right now next to their corpses.
Gaming Legion coming in the south. You can see Alpachinki here in the prison, with TSM and Reciprocity either side. TSM kind of backed away a little bit from this hillside. They did, of course, get that one single knock on them. Good stuff. A little higher at the moment. Reciprocity, by the way, have also split across. They did lose Haxetti early on, but Rafi, he's still shooting in that hut. It's just like a little terrier. Get away from me.
He's establishing dominance.
Well, Raise Your Edge are in the hills near them, actually, which is a fairly dangerous position, especially considering he is on his own there.
He's baiting. He's trying to get people to come attack him. It's like a pub game. He's like, come get me.
Well, the rest of the boys from Reciprocity now taking shots onto Raise Your Edge, so it's going to force some back a little bit. Tornado Energy Battle, a team that did so well in groups, need to find themselves some kills. They've got Gamer Legion coming in just to the south, on the edge of the circle at the moment, so they're keeping an eye on them. We'll see where the circle swings. Most people inside it now, apart from Coffers, is still... Oh, he's got a vehicle. He's got a vehicle. He's away. Finally getting a move on.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next. He's got a big effort coming if he's going to make any sort of play for placement. Rather, he's going to actually come in on the edge. Pretty free over there, so he could probably play fairly conservatively. Penta down in the small Milta.
They're looting.
Yeah, they're just having a good time. Maybe looking for, maybe they'll do like a all sniper, choice. They all have M24s or something like that.
I mean, Team Ready have been... Oh, look, Maverick's gone for it and raised your edge. So he's gone for crates. He's gone for crates down the coastline.
See if it pays off.
We'll see. Not too many down, of course, early on. Just a couple. Q-Rage do lose it, and it does center up the circle. So a lot of hill grounds. Team Ready looking good. Mavericks push there for them. Crates has kind of worked out for him. It's, of course, going to pull away on phase 4 of the water. So if you actually look to where Reciprocity is, that's a pretty good spot still.
Right.
They can still go on the prison wall.
I mean, it's now a gamble if it goes north or south with the water likely coming out again pretty quickly here. So for Skoom, Shiv, and Raffi, they are doing a 2-1. I
mean,
they're 3 alive. I mean, they're not in rough shape. As I mean, obviously they like to have 4 and do 2-2, but.
The journey south from that position's not too bad, though. It's obviously a lot of hills, a lot of trees.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
A lot of ridge lines. You can use smokes to really cover a big exit. Of course, their issue is that TSM know they're there.
Skoom and Shiv can also cover Raffi a little bit. They have line of sight to that compound, so if they do get crashed, but I mean, they could lose Raffi too if, for instance, Sauna Boys want to take it over because there's not a lot of real estate left now in the center or really anywhere else. You can see the pressure now starting to mount on the southwestern side. SDF, Tornado, Jokers, M19 all coming in as one.
That's a big CIS region clump surrounding the Frenchman.
It's like the CIS front is like slowly encircling.
And Red Diamonds to the south.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Actually, every single CIS team down south. That's Pochinki, I guess.
Oh, they're shooting at each other now.
19, yeah, that's M19 going to go for a little peek. Elite player, realizing in a bit of danger. Kemba picking, I think, 9 kills up in the last game, along with Senya. So massive performance from those guys. 19 kill game in the last round. Starting things off fresh. Oh, Example is right on top of Dimash. He's got no idea. He's shooting the side. Does flush him down, and, well, he's going to be finished off as well. Oh, and he immediately gets replied. Ooh. And then Constantine goes down. Sesko gets involved. THC picks himself up a kill. Remember, they already got a couple of kills from the previous crash from Q-Rage.
Yeah.
So it's worked out well for SDF.
TSM just stole a kill. So that's Gustav picking up Constantine from distance. So SDF coming up and really doing a lot of damage. M19 did not fare well in that trade. They've only got elite player left standing as far as I can tell on the map. And looking at Iroh, he's got a line of sight. He's going to land a shot at distance, not a headshot, not the one he wanted. But Hulo now feeling it. That's very close, damn through the tree. As SDF not going to get away for free. Team Ready still engaged. Most
teams just sort of collapsed in. Gamer Legion, the only team that had a big rotate. They went way around the south of Milta and actually over in Milta Power Owl now. Coffers as well, all alone. He's got 6 first aids. He's managed to tack himself right up. 4 energies in there as well. So really easy for him to just tank it up and try and get as high a position as possible with the rest of his team going down to SDF.
See now with the circle closing once again, if it will go north or south, this is going to decide the fate likely of Reciprocity. Well, actually, you said it yourself. They do have a path they can use coming along that ridge, but with Al Pachinki, for some reason, still in the prison, they're going to have to find a way out of that prison. So if I'm Rec, maybe I wonder, do I want to pick up frags or do I want to get a good position in the center of the zone? You can hopefully do a little bit of both, but for TSM, they're on the eastern ridge, or sorry, on the western ridge, rather, with Rec on the east. So now they are already moving around. Look at this. Gustav is now coming to the south end of the prison ridge. See if the rest of TSM follows. TSM's found a little bit of trouble when they split out like this on foot. But for Jokers, they might drive a wedge right between them.
Yeah, Jokers are coming. Jokers look to be trying to flush out TSM here.
Yeah.
Just judging by their movement, the way they're heading towards the prison wall, they're going straight towards the back of Rory, and he's not going to be expecting this. He's not even looking. Now he's spun around. Maybe he just saw them. Maybe he got a vision.
He can feel it.
Because the rest of TSM turned around. The Sona boys are sending it on to Reciprocity. Meanwhile, they're trying to get around the side. They come into the prison wall. The circle will center sort of on the middle area of everything on this western side. We knew it'd pull away from the water, so it doesn't go north or south. It pretty much centers which is good for reciprocity. TSM, of course, going to have to move, but TSM have the Jokers right on top of them. Sauna Boys, meanwhile, getting engaged on by Alpajinki.
Looks like TSM is going to get the opening frag. Turtle will get Kemba down. They need to form up and take this fight. This is a very pivotal moment for TSM on the edge of the zone. You can see them dealing with the Jokers. Turtle will get traded, and now the res is coming. TSM not showing. Looks like they do want. Wookiee's gonna go for the res too. This might be a bit of a long play here for TSM.
Gaming Legion tried to launch it. Remember, Gaming Legion were in mill to power. Avangard were also in the edge building, so they've kind of clashed on one another. That's down on the southern edge. Penta looking to get a little bit of benefit from that one. Red Diamonds pushing south. Tornado pushing north, as well. They've gone all into the lumber mill. Team Ready have also collapsed together, but this is the fight we're looking at right now as TSM and Jokers continue to trade. Timber's picking himself up a kill down the south, but Gustav getting tabbed down is a big move. It leaves Senya on the side. And Gamer Legion, while they're in all sorts of trouble.
Jokers are disengaging from TSM. They've actually pulled away from that press. I'm not sure if they're trying to get zone position or what. Maybe they're coming out for another res. But that's an interesting play from Jokers as they've essentially saw TSM on the edge of the zone and outside the zone, engaged initially and then backed off. So for Tab, he's going to be res, but TSM still need to find a way in. And Rek is kind of harassing on the other side.
That's Hamster down. That is a disaster for Gamer Legion. Macandark made it in, but he is the last man standing. So another team down to one along with Courage. Courage, by the way, way down south still. Edge and Mill to power working his way in.
Now on foot from maybe flipped another vehicle.
So you're right, yeah, Joker's pushed away. Look at TSM. They've actually gone around the north side of prison. They're on the edge of prison looking to try and get kills. Does he drop down?
Down? No. He's on the high side.
He's on the edge. Yeah.
Rocks. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting topography up there for the prison ridge. TSM still in a kind of 2-2 formation. They're encircling the prison, and this is now a shooting gallery. We talked about this earlier with Alpajinki. Sauna Boys are in there as well. And between TSM and Rek, they could pick up a ton of kills.
That nade didn't go well. Down the south, a team that needs points. Avanga. They're taking shots on to raise your edge, and Penta are just creeping up behind them. Slowly but surely. We saw them all collect together by that rock. They're literally all together. And they've been caught out in that same situation. Tornado and Red Diamonds, they're trading back and forward. M19 and Jokers very close to one another as well. TSM in 4-man now around this southern edge as Tornado try and toss a nade up to SDF there. Looks like Compot's trying to find something. Little replay of Compot landing the shot onto Bestalok here. Boom. Quick triple tap. Penta, though, are engaging on Avangard now. Starting to take a couple of shots, and here comes the nades.
Looking good now. Penta just trying to do some damage to the CIS squad. They're up on the rocks. This is kind of a difficult spot to get good nades into. So Penta just going to try and get a high side look, see if they can get it down. Maybe they want to push it. Penta can do whatever the hell they want, however, as Avangard is still trying to fight for a little bit of position here on the rocks, trying to get a sight line or something. They
can't back away because you can see the shots now and again. You see them tapping the rocks. That's Raise Your Edge taking shots. I think it's Cup of Magic with M24 taking a couple of shots on their back, which is why they've got to keep the back smoked. Penta in front, Raise Your Edge at the back. Don't really have a clear angle at the moment, but Raise Your Edge also having to worry about Accelerate. The circle moves. It goes sort of central, pretty much in a great spot for TSM.
Yep,
Reciprocity going to have to move up the wall.
Yeah, now this is going to be a situation where two teams that need to fight are going to have to clash because there's nowhere for Rek to go. They're going to have to run along the prison ridge, and already Gustav taking shots at Shiv. I don't think I like the positioning of Reciprocity. They're going to have to run out of cover eventually as they come along that ridge line. You can see here the rocks give way into open fields on the side. There's a bit of a slope you can use, but you're going to get hung up on the rocks, and you can already see Skoom skirting his way down and south and just looking away from where TSM is, probably trying to decide what kind of sight lines are we going to have on our backs. And Gustav is going to get down initially.
She's pushing this.
But, I mean, they don't have the manpower. The Rek is all over the place. Skoom's going for a crate right now, and, I mean, that's a good bonus for them. They're going to need all the help they can get. But they're not in a position to fight right now, so if they get traded, Shiv will not be saved.
He's got the ridge line, though, so he's managed to push up and give them the angle. Accelerate, meanwhile, are also coming in behind them, so they're going straight to the wall. Tim Penta continuing to this nade barrage onto Avangard. But meanwhile, Accelerate, they've gone for the wall. They're actually on the same wall as Reciprocity now, coming around the edge, forcing them up. Maxi trying to still keep himself a little sniper shot, but Avangard definitely need the points as much as they can get. Raise Your Edge pushing in towards Avangard as well there. Here's Accelerate and Razor Edge, remember, Scoom went for that crate. Well, he's stuck right behind the tree. Shiv getting a peek across. Nick waiting for Squeaky to go for the peek, but he gets caught out by Ruslanmar and gets taken down. Razor Edge's push on Erangel is also paying out down on the south. You can see it in the picture-in-picture on the bottom corner there as Rafi tries to smoke it out, and Erangel are getting flushed out at the moment. Razor Edge just decimating them. Squeaky gets down for Scoom there as he tries to get a peek around on towards the trees, gets a look across and flushes out the kill. Does manage to deal with him. Red Diamond's also clashing. That's over in the Lumbermar. They've come out and engaged on towards Penta, so everybody get drawn into the third parties.
And this is a lot of fighting happening. There's still 44 alive, 16 teams up at 25 minutes. That's insane. FPS will be an issue right now as these teams just try and focus on each other. Scoom's going to get finished off by Ruslanmar, and now Reciprocity down to only 2. There's still 16 teams alive. They are facing elimination in a dire situation now.
That's from the last man.
Look at this. Look at the south side. The south side is all awash, as well as Red Diamond's trying to make entry. Penta's just running around. Asvern's stuck in the blue. Razor Edge is taking a ton of damage. The southwestern side is undecided.
The prison's
and the
going
prison
off.
ridge is like, whatever, man. Let's just see what
Prison
happens.
break between Alpachinki and Sauna Boys as well.
They can't get out. The blue is now there, so I don't know exactly what the game plan was for Alpachinki and Sauna Boys, but they're going to get crushed by the blue because it's going to get adjusted out now.
I have no idea what in the hell is going on here. This is the weirdest game I've ever seen, especially with two teams going into this spot.
Rafi's down as well.
Rafi down, Reciprocity down to 1. It is just Shiv standing now. TSM getting involved, trying to get the shots down low onto Alpachinki as they get flushed out. Meanwhile, it is all about the Lumber Mill. Vanguard sending it. Asvern's going to be the mad dash. 16th place is a chance. Oh, Razor Edge just lost a couple in the blue as well. Turtle finds Alpachinki. Dream for you as well. Asvern gets in safe somehow. I don't even know how he managed to make that dash.
37 alive, 16 teams up, going into minute 27. This is kind of nuts. I don't think I've ever seen 16 teams alive this long. But we're down to a couple of solos. There's actually a lot of solos. There's potentially we could drop down to 14 or 13 teams really fast. So on the edge of the south, it's going to be an interesting transition as Compot's already going to get some pressure from Jokers. And the southern side is going to be we're going to see most of the death as Kofes is down there as a solo. So if Shiv can stay alive, he could potentially get Reciprocity a top 10. But,
he drove over Maverick on the way out. That's just what killed him.
Oh, my God.
Sending it. He's actually pulled up, by the way. He's right next to Macandark. Accelerate about to trip over him, I think. They're about to come
TSM's
straight down
get a
south.
bunch of kills. TSM's going to get a bunch of kills here if they can.
Yeah,
Gustav's
Sauna Boys, yeah.
Missing his helmet, but there's one, so that's a nice shot there. It's kind of these are gifts. I have no idea why these guys are still in the prison.
Well, Sauna Boys absolutely need the points as well, so they're in a tricky spot right now. Razor Edge getting flushed out down south. They're clashing with with Penta. Stupid Brenta. Brexit's in my head. That's where it is. But as you mentioned, lots of solo players. Don't forget Kofos from Q-Rage. They went down so early on. They still got the one player, M19 with the solo player. Gamer Legion with the solo player. Avangar with the solo player. Red Diamond's almost down to a solo player. They're going to get the revive off. It's Avangar that go down first, and that is a disaster for a team that needs the points. Penta, meanwhile, will follow. Razor Edge picking up the kills there. Accelerate, get themselves the knock on Wookie Bookie.
And that prison ridge is what's is kind of difficult to deal with because you have to peek your whole upper body over. It leaves only your head exposed. And actually, that was in the background anyway.
Just got Rustamar, the solo man. So he just exposed his position, I think, to maybe Team Ready, who have basically taken center right now.
Yeah, and really, this circle has favored TSM time and again through this mid and end game now, as we are actually literally entering the end game with 28 players alive still. So this is a wooded and interesting area with lots of cover, which is why I think so many people are still alive. But we're running out of space on the edges, especially the south.
Yeah, Joker's taking shots on TSM. You can see here they've engaged once already and kind of backed away, but they realize the fight is going to have to be on them again. Tornado's still with 4 alive down south, by the way. It's only them and TSM, I think, that have 4 men standing, with Razor Edge losing a couple in the Avangar fight there.
They're missing some helmets, though, TSM, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of which.
There goes Gustav's.
Sorry, Gustav.
That's
unfortunate.
I got to be honest, Senya and actually all the Jokers have absolutely been lethal players. Courage going down. Oh no, that's finally 14th place for them. Of course, the rest of his team were lost very early on. The Sauna Boys and Alpachinki just hugging the blue right now, but unfortunately it's swung away from him. TSM are going to have to move. It's gone down to the southeast corner of the circle.
All right,
and now it's going to get messy.
Now, yeah, I was going to say now everyone dies. So Tornado already on the foot rotate. They're moving right towards Red Diamonds, who are likely going to get wiped out either, or they're going to win the fight against Tornado. But they're actually getting shot in the back now. Jokers have come around the back, and they're taking shots at Tornado. And that's another down on the Compot. And the prison thing, whatever you want to call this, is still kicking off as now it's Al Pachinki being eliminated, and the Sauna boys are. They might as well, I don't know, play some poker or something like that for the next 5 seconds while they're still alive. So
you'd love to get an underhand nade or something there just to catch them out, but unfortunately nobody's going to get gifted the kills unless Shiv can suddenly catch them out. Shiv, by the way, from Reciprocity, he's going to go around there. Okay, TSM, they're going to send it round the western circle. They're basically following Joker's path here. It's the wise decision, I think, with the way the circle's gone. It means they're going to keep on flushing around. They might catch Elite player out from M19, while, of course, the Jokers are engaging on Tornado. So the speed they're going, I think they're going to be running straight towards this one. Tornado getting caught out left, right, and center. Senya gets a peek over the top. Will get taken down. Elite players flush down Rory. They will get him, but they lost one in the trade, and now Jokers immediately spin around and take shots at them.
Where's Wookie Bookie going? He's probably going to try and clean up some kills. That would be my guess. Wookie Bookie's going back to the prison to see if he can maybe pick up a couple of kills, but I mean the blue's already there. What? I don't understand this. Where's Wookie Bookie going?
They got them. Jokers go down. TSM, suddenly Gustav lights them up. I mean, no helmet for him, but it doesn't matter. Turtle got knocked though. Meanwhile, SDF, they're up on the hill and they come out and they're going to push around the side of him, and now TSM are completely split. Wookie Bookie still on the prison wall. I don't know what the call was. Why would you split when you're pushing around south? Oh, and Shiv gets him down, and that, you've just got to wonder what was going on. It gives Reciprocity, they've only got 2 kills. Reciprocity, you need points. I don't know how you're going to do it because you're running into Iroh and you're going to go down to Iroh. Of course you will. 9th place. I think that may be it. Reciprocity pretty much going to have to win the next 2 rounds. There's only 3 to go. It is all on them, and that's a lot of pressure on their shoulders coming into the final matches. Meanwhile, TSM gets split apart and they go down in 8th place for them as SDF get themselves a double nade there from Sesgo, who are continuing to chase points. You know what? If SDF continue the way they are, Reciprocity are going to be 16th.
Hold the phone. Sauna Boys went out after TSM did, and they were stuck in the prison in the blue. I mean,
Gamer Legion.
I'm hashtag reformed. That's all I'm going to say.
Gamer Legion, who were ripped apart by Erangel, have still got Mac and Dark in there. Meanwhile, Team Ready, we should point out with 3 alive, they are the 10th place team. This is bad for everyone below them because they're going to be picking up points here. SDF, who are bottom of the pile, chasing some kills as well. Red Diamonds also looking for points, looking to get in there. Raise Your Edge, of course, fairly safe. But this has really gone. I mean, this was a strange game at the best of times because of the way the circle's gone. And it's not often you get sort of this little circle edgy section. Senpai trying to use that Harry Potter to try and get as much information as he can.
Yes. Team Ready's looking good. I'm very tilted. Anyway, as far as Red Diamonds is concerned, I actually saw with the Jokers getting slowly eroded from behind, or excuse me, Tornado getting eroded from behind by Jokers. That's a bonus for them. They were not looking very strong on the southern side, but now it's Team Ready looking good. There's another kill as Wanta's going to get, I think, flushed, but maybe traded.
It's a team that did very well in, obviously, top of the table in the groups and did very well on day 1, but had a horrible, horrible day 2.
Yeah.
So this is absolutely something the Turkish team knew.
Iroh's got a line here. Oh, there we go. That was 6 more.
So Raise Your Edge down in 4th place. It does give a top 4 finish for SDF, by the way. They consistently managed to get the points, but really don't get too many kills. And it is the duo partnership of CHZ and Sesgo, who we've seen in many duo tournaments, once again, trying to carry through for them. But they have a tough task against them. Team Ready have kind of just sat
map control.
low.
They've got great map control. I mean, they're in a low ground position, but I mean, the edge fighting is going to help them a lot.
Oh, it's Iroh that actually got the knock in there, but Bestalok was the one that managed to flush it out. So THC pushed a little too far. And it does mean Red Diamonds kind of give their position away of silence, but they know where it is. Everybody's swinging towards it.
Last zone.
And as you mentioned, Team Ready, they're basically on the dot.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking good. They have to all run down towards them. It's a solo player versus 2, so unless Sesgo gets a knock on to Team Ready, Red Diamonds has a little bit of a loss in the man advantage category, but ultimately Team Ready doesn't have this game in hand just yet, but they're in a great position. They've got good control. I think they're close enough together that they can trade if necessary. Sesgo clearly is a target of Red Diamonds right now. So this is looking pretty decent for Team Ready, who could leapfrog a bunch of teams and potentially clink a couple of people out. So for Team Ready, this is looking good and exactly what they need.
Senpai desperately trying to find the backpack, the head, but Looks like Sezco's, he ditched it. Looks like he might off. M249 for best of luck. Don't write him off yet. He's had a quiet second stage. Oh, one of the highest damage dealers, not only in the groups, but also at GLL.
Yeah, he was terrific at GLL for sure. Smoke's coming out. Oh, no, just regular. They're throwing grenades.
Smoke, so I'm not too sure. Either way, beautiful death with York. You know he's level 3'd up. Sezco going to creep in. He's going to see Sixmo first, those two. Likely to clash. There's Senpai taking shots off, shooting every little bush, every little tree, gets a little glimpse.
You're out of bullets, sir.
Sixmo.
Oh, he's got no ammo.
Yeah, he switched over. He's really low, but it doesn't matter when you get the knock like that. Goes a little spray down, and he's down to nothing. Just 7 bullets, all you got
get
left.
The pan
Sezco.
out.
Start throwing your gun at him.
Get the pan out. Get it out. Now's the time. Sezco, and this is actually looking great for Team Ready now.
He sees best along.
So
that's one.
Kill.
Stands up and he immediately dies. 3rd place for Sans Domicile.
Looking like Team Ready.
Looking like Team Ready indeed. No bullets. He's just changed weapon. I got nothing. He's going in
Pan
with
him.
fists.
Get him.
He's going in with the fists.
Oh, come on, dude.
I mean, you just gave him 16 points. He's happy. Team Ready will find him those 6 kills, but it's a chicken dinner nonetheless, and it's the one that they absolutely needed, which is going to be the 400 points. That's really all they're looking towards. Of course, 180 for the 6 kills. 180 for the 6 kills. I can't count. What is it?
No, don't ask me.
No. No.
372, I believe, is the math.